What's going on, people? This is my match recap and player ratings from last night's game. Manchester United versus Villarreal. Manchester United 2, Villarreal 1. Even though we got the 3 points in the win, and it's good for us in the group, I think it was a very lucky performance again at the end. It was scraping wins, and we don't... The trouble is, you can play horrible football and win and be known as a good side, and that's how we win. But you also have to play good football the majority of the time, and we don't do that. We just continuously go into games and struggle throughout the game, and then manage to nick it a win at the end, like a lot. And for me, I went through a little phase of like just wanting to win, regardless of what sort of style of football we were playing. But now I'm fed up with it. I want us to play exciting, attractive football, even if we lose or draw, instead of playing this horrendous football that we're playing and waiting on individuals to save us, because it makes Ollie look like he knows what he's doing, and he doesn't. He's getting saved by individual moments, and people giving Ollie credit for it. The only thing he does is pick the team. We could pick the team, and they do that job. So I think it's sugarcoating a lot of problems with the team and Ollie and the coaching staff, because we're scraping these wins. I thought David De Gea was fantastic last night, especially in the first half. It could have been about 3 or 4-0 in the first half alone. I thought in the second half he didn't have a lot to do, but the first half alone, he should have got man of the match. Dalot, I've stuck up for Dalot a lot and said that he should have never gone out on loan last season because we needed a backup right back in case Aaron Wan-Bissaka got injured. But I thought he was poor last night, I've got to be honest. But again, you could argue that it's not his fault because he hasn't had the time to gel with the squad and play because he's not been here. But I do think he was poor, and I actually had him as the worst player of the game along with McTominay and Cavani. McTominay offered nothing in the middle again. I thought Pogba as well, poor. Bruno, I thought had a better second half, but the first half was below average for me. Greenwood also, Sancho and Ronaldo also. I thought all of them just quiet. Greenwood, Sancho and Ronaldo hardly saw the ball the first half from the midfield. And it was just shocking. Poor football. The players that we've got on paper, what's our style of football? Like I said recently, there isn't one. And that has to come down to Ollie and the coaching staff. It's just horrible to watch, and I'm fed up with it. Like, I don't care if we're winning now. People are like, what are you moaning about? Stop being negative. It's not being negative. It's being realistic of the football we play. I don't want to win games poorly and win games by individual moments and scraping it and luck, because that's what it is. And surely you want to win games with knowing that you're going to win when you're in the game, and you've got that confidence to know that you're going to get a win, and you're constantly pressuring the opposing team. But we don't do that. We counter-attack, and we put men behind the ball and hope we get lucky on the counter. With the players we've got, it's not good enough. We should be dictating to teams of how the game goes, not the other way around. I just thought it was poor last night. Even though we won, I don't think we deserved to. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem, because I feel like that a lot. But into the player ratings, David De Gea, man of the match for me, easily. I give him a 9 out of 10 yesterday, just off of that first half alone. Quality, kept us in the game in the first half. Could have been 3 or 4-0. And he was letting some of the defenders know as well about themselves, which I like to see. So easily man of the match for me, David De Gea. He gets a 9. For his second half, he had an average game because it was very quiet, didn't have a lot to do. But the first half, 9. Dalot, first half, I give him a 3. He was getting constantly caught out of position and not blocking crosses into the box from Danjuma down the left, which the majority of their chances was coming from. Second half, I thought he slightly upped it, but very slightly, and was still pretty poor, to be honest. So I give Dalot a 4. Varane, first half, I give him a 6. He made one little mistake that nearly led to a goal, but other than that, I thought he was solid. And then the second half, I thought he dipped a bit. I'll put him down to a 4, and then back up to a 5. So I give Varane an average last night of a 5. Lindelof, first half, I gave him a 4. Wasn't great positionally with crosses into the box, and he's just not very strong. I like that he can play that long ball over the top for players, which he tried to do a few times, but defensively he does get caught out, and I think he's a bit weak. Second half, I thought he upped it slightly, and I thought he ended up having an average game of a 5. Tellez, first half, I thought he was the best of the defence, to be honest, other than Varane. The right hand side of the if you're on the opposing team, that right winger, I think he had a solid game in the first half. I say solid, but I give him an average because I don't think he really offered a lot on the ball, but defensively he wasn't a problem. Second half, obviously, he scored a peach of a goal. I was very pleased for him for the Bruno assist and the volley. So I had to bump his rating up simply for that goal because it's the technique and the difficulty of it to hit it like that and put it where he did. Quality from him. So I give him a 7 for Tellez. McTominay, he's playing in a position that he can't play. Pogba needs to be playing in that position. He was supposed to be lined up next to him, but the majority of the game he was further forward than McTominay was. But you need Pogba back there deeper, playing them balls that McTominay was trying to play, because McTominay can't play them. I thought he was very poor in that position again, and so 4 for the first half, and then I put it down to a 3 for the second half because he didn't offer us anything, I didn't think. Pogba, first half underperforming. I gave him a 4. Didn't get involved enough, and I've said it many a times. A player of his stature and what we've seen he can do, he went missing again. So a 4 for Pogba in the first half. Second half, I'd give him a 5 average. I think he upped it slightly, but not good enough from Pogba. Bruno, first half, also I would give a 4 to. He was playing a lot of passes that were forced that weren't really on, and he was just trying to force it instead of just doing the simple thing. And he was mouthing off a lot to the ref, which I didn't like to see, because I was like, you're going to get booked. Stop mouthing off at unnecessary things. If they're not giving you a foul, they're not going to give you it. But I didn't like that yesterday from Bruno. He was at the ref a lot. And it worries me, because you don't want to be picking up needless yellow cards. Second half, I did think he upped it, especially for the assist for Tellez. So I bumped it up quite a bit for that assist alone, and I give him a 7 in the second half. Greenwood, first half, a 4. I just think all the attacking lot struggled to see the ball. So that all of them got 4s, to be honest. Yeah, he was just very quiet. Second half, I picked it up a bit. He put a wicked ball in for Cavani second half, which Cavani should have scored with a header. But it was like Beckham-esque type curve on it, and brilliant ball. And unfortunately, Cavani missed it. But I do think he had a better second half, Greenwood. So I give him a 6. Sancho, 4. And he stayed as a 4 throughout the game for me. I just don't see what he's offering at the moment, to be honest. People are saying that the system's wrong for him, and I just think there's too many excuses for him. He hasn't performed when he's played, and I'm expecting more from him. Just simple things like passing and dribbling on the ball. I'm not really seeing what he's offering. So for me, Sancho, below average for me, and I'll give him a 4. Ronaldo, a 4 for the first half. Didn't see the ball really. As I said, the attacking lot didn't really get the ball enough, so they all were all below average, but a lot of it was because of the defence in the midfield. In the second half, obviously, he scores the winner at the end from the Lingard assist, so I had to bump it up. So I bumped it up to a 7 for the goal. But I was glad to see on the United Stand website that they didn't give Ronaldo the majority of the votes because he scored the winner. Because if it wasn't for De Gea, we wouldn't have won the game anyway, because that first half, they could have been 3-0 up. So I was glad to see that people didn't swing that way. But I give Ronaldo a 7, and then the subs: Cavani, Matic, Lingard, and Fred. I thought Fred come on and he was average. He did all right. It wasn't didn't have a ton of time, but I thought for the amount of time he did do, he was okay. So I'll give him a 5. Cavani, for me, I'd have to give him a 3 for that header because he has to score for me, or at least get it on target. And it doesn't even go on target. Wicked ball from Greenwood as well, and he failed to capitalise. And yeah, I like his energy and his work rate, but for me, I had to bump his rating down because he should be scoring that. Matic, come on. I saw him making a mistake with a pass to someone that there wasn't really a lot of pressure on him, and I think it went out for a throw-in. I would play him before McTominay or Fred in that midfield role, even though I give him a below average yesterday because that mistake stood out for me that he did with that pass. I don't think he was horrendous, but I don't think he really affected the game, to be honest, so I'd give him a 4. And then that just leaves Lingard. I thought his energy was good again, he was positive, and he got the assist for the Ronaldo winner. I think Jesse at times doesn't perform and people give him credit. But at the moment, I think people aren't giving him credit, and he's performing in little roles that he's coming on near the end of the games and affecting it for a positive outcome. I don't think he's getting the credit he should. So for me, Jesse gets a 7 for that assist. And I thought he looked okay when he come on. I thought he offered more than Sancho did all game, and Greenwood. So yeah, a 7 for Lingard, even though he was on for a very short time. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for me, I would give a 4. Below average. Yes, we got the win, but I'm not convinced by him. I saw him actually stand up once and shout last night, which was a little bit of a plus, but it was one time that I saw, because he doesn't usually do it. In the majority of the game, again, he was sat there with that with his legs crossed and his hands over his knees and that face he does, with Carrick next to him and all the coaching lot just not looking like they've got a clue of what to do. And it's a problem. I don't get why McTominay and Fred, obviously with the Donny van de Beek thing, throwing his chewing gum, don't blame him. He's going to leave soon, and I can't blame him. And I'm glad that he done that, because he's showing his emotions and that he's human and that he deserves to be playing and be given more chances. So for me, Ollie has ruined that. I can't forgive that. And to be honest, I don't think he's the right man for the job. I think he's getting a lot of luck with games and results. And the way we play football is horrible. It's horrible to watch. And because we're winning, people are just putting up with it. But where's the standards? Where's the excitement and standard of play that you want to see from a United team that we all grew up on or we got used to? For me, Ollie is not the guy to do it, and neither are the coaching staff, because if they were, we'd be seeing different types of football, different styles, changing formations up, taking risks, different formations, resting players more, rotating players more, and we don't see it enough. The only reason he rotated like Shaw and Maguire is because they were injured. Otherwise, they would have been playing like normal. So I'm not impressed. Yeah, it was a good win, but not in terms of how we played. We got lucky again. And Atalanta next in the Champions League, they're going to really cause us a lot of problems. They're better than Villarreal are, and I think that they'll beat us because of how we play. So I'm not happy with how we play football, and we're getting lucky. I want to actually watch our team and be proud and be excited of us, and I'm not. And that is down to Ollie, because the players can only do what you tell them and go out to do how you tell them to go out and do it. So for me, that falls to Ollie, and it falls to his coaching staff. Man of the match, David De Gea, fantastic again. Kept us in the game, as I said, and if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have had a chance to win the game anyway. So easily for me, man of the match, and I'll speak to you guys soon.